Okay, so final challenge for end of year feast. This one is more annoying than it is hard. I will say that if you are freshly level 70 or you're not level 70 yet, you're in your mid 60s levels or something, this will be a very challenging fight, and it's also dependent on what kind of equipment you have access to. So as you can see here, I have brought a bunch of units who can attack from 3 range in some fashion. I've brought Narm, Oliver, and Rainier all with Ullr's bow. And I have brought Hein with a range increasing staff. Now, this is pretty much because of the first part of this stupid fight, where you have to beat up these children, and every time you hit them, they summon they create a summon that basically explodes when it dies. The ones that look like bombs, those will give you heal block, and those are the ones you need to worry about. There's another one that looks like the Angelica robots, and those just give you Moby down, which is still annoying, but not the worst thing. The heal block is obviously the annoying one here, and you cannot resist it, so you can't get around it by wearing Blood Pact or whatever. I brought a bunch of 3 range units here because they explode and they have 2. The bombs have 2. Well, the bombs explode in 1 ring around themselves, and the Angelica robots explode with 2 range, 2 block AoE. So obviously, if you want to be able to stay safe from them in pretty much every situation, you want to have 3 range attack. Technically, you can stay safe from the bombs by attacking from 2 range, like I am with Chris right here. But it's much easier to have. It's much easier to bring 3 range units to keep yourself as safe as possible. And sure, you don't have to have 3 range, but it just makes this first part of the map a lot easier. Because otherwise, it's just very tedious. One of the other annoying things about this map is that every time these bombs blow up, they have a chance to spawn all these ads. Now, the ads themselves are really, really weak and very easy to kill. But what makes it annoying is that it's a random number of these ads every time they die. So sometimes they spawn no ads at all, and sometimes they spawn 2 ads, and sometimes they spawn just 1. So they either do ram on you, these lobsters do ram on you, and the cuttlefish, as always, they do the very, very annoying chain hook skills. So the most annoying part of this is the part where they might chain you into another AoE that you don't want to deal with, and the bombs blowing up actually does do a lot of damage. It obviously based on how strong your units are, but generally speaking, even my level 70 units here, they might die within like 2 bomb blasts. So if you're a lower level, they might just one-shot you. Like I said, the effects from the Angelica heads really don't matter that much because it's just Moby down. The Moby down can be a problem if you're trying to get away from something, but it's the heal block that that is the most constant threat on this map. And what's even worse is if you run into one of these Gizarov construct looking things, and you somehow get into a situation where a bomb blows up and then it summons a bunch of ads that pull you next to these Gizarov constructs. Because anytime like one of these Gizarov constructs blows up, it will do Curse of Wounding, and that will almost guarantee that unit to die, depending on what you have brought, because it also makes them take fixed damage. So it's pretty much a death sentence for most units. It's just very annoying because obviously like you can't predict how many summons are going to be created from each of these ads every single time, and it just makes the map very inconsistent and irritating to play. So that's why it's much easier to just bring a bunch of units with 3 range attacks. It removes some of the frustration. As far as the Guzerov construct things go, they appear, as you saw, like they appear after you defeat one of the kids. And they take a while to blow up, so usually you have some safety, but one of the problems is that if you have at least 2 of your characters within 2 blocks of the Guzerov constructs, they actually just blow up immediately. So So the focus here, like I said, you want to kill the bombs so you don't have to deal with them exploding next to you and giving you heal block when you're trying to heal back up. Or you don't want to find yourself in a situation where a bunch of the ads will pull you next to the Gizarov constructs, which will end up giving you curse wounding, which will probably kill the unit. Aside from that, this first part of the map is actually really easy. The enemies really don't do that much damage. They're relatively easy to kill. They are very annoying because they keep running around all over the map. And like I said, the ads will just pull you all over the place. So as you can see, like, I actually did not bring a dedicated healer myself. You can bring someone like Almeida if you want to be able to heal people from across the map, but because this first part of the map is really not that threatening, I don't think you really need to bring a healer at all unless you are constantly making mistakes and having stuff blow up in your face. So the first part of the map, like I said, it's not challenging. It's more just like at some point you might screw up, and you might have like one of the ads explode on you, or you get pulled to somewhere you don't want, just because you cannot completely predict everything that's going to happen. And this is why, like, you can tell this is like one of the earlier challenge designs where it's just like the RNG is so ridiculous. It's very, very irritating. Now, RNG is always part of their map design. But this is one of the ones where it's just like, it's like they designed it to be as irritating as possible and impossible to predict, basically to make more people buy the Clock of Forgiveness. And as you can see, my Grenier actually really sucks. Like Grenier cannot do enough damage to even kill the halfway dead bomb. Anyway, once you get past all the annoyances, you just have to kill the kids, and then you'll be given basically like a turn of leeway to regroup all your units, and then after that 5 bosses will spawn all around the map. So this part of the fight is a more straightforward boss fight. All of the units that spawn are pretty threatening. There's going to be a Jessica who has a lot of HP and kind of annoying to kill and has all kinds of AoEs. There's going to be a Rachel, which has Holy Word, Dark Scythe, and Arcane Blast, which is enough to kill a lot of my units in one hit, actually. There's going to be Liffany, who doesn't have any of her own skills, but she does have her talent, which has bombs that will kill you very easily, and she will summon all the annoying ads that occur in the first part of the map. There's Angelina, who can be very, very threatening if you don't dogpile her and kill her in one turn. And then there's Sophia, who is really not that big of a problem. Like, Sophia is annoying because she's a healer, but she's the least threatening of the 5 bosses at the end. But basically, what I would recommend for that part of the fight is to basically regroup your units to a specific part of the map so that you can try to dogpile each of the bosses one at a time before they all swarm on your position. In particular, like I mentioned, the Angelina, you have to kill her very quickly, because if you do not successfully kill her in one turn, she has Lonely Moon, and she'll just act twice and probably kill like almost your entire team. And if you get multiple AoEs from more than one of the bosses at once, then usually that kills most of your team. And that's also why I didn't really bring a healer of sorts. I did bring Chris, who can heal and fight at the same time, but the main goal here is that Chris not only helps contribute to damage, but because the main thing I want to do here is actually just avoid taking damage in general, having a straight healer actually isn't that useful. And since I want to be able to fight the bosses without taking too much damage, then obviously the 3 range will be more helpful in that case as well. Angelina also is a flyer class, so I have 2 archers here, plus Oliver, who has archer troops, and that'll be enough to kill her pretty quickly. I am going to be losing Narm later on in the map because of some annoying like AoE shenanigans, but aside from that, like I said, the key to the second part of the map is to just in that turn of leeway you get at the end of the first phase of the fight, you want to regroup to one part of the map where you feel like you can kill that boss the fastest, or you feel like that boss is the most problematic for you. I would say killing either Rachel or Angelina is probably the best choice first. once you kill that first boss, I think you want to focus fire on Jessica. And this depends on how strong your units are. If your units are not that strong, I actually would not focus fire on Jessica, because Jessica has more HP than the rest of the units, or at least it's harder to kill. Angelina will be easier to kill as long as you have a bunch of archers. Rachel and Liffany are pretty frail mages. And Sophia, like I said, Sophia is a healer and she's not really a problem at all. So overall, this is not a difficult map, especially for longtime players. But for newer players, I definitely think this is going to be a very, very irritating map. So just maybe try out some of the things I suggested here. Bring a lot of 3-range units, and obviously if you have SSRs, you can bring like Light of Genesis and stuff, and that'll make things easier for you as well. But yeah, that's going to be the last end of year feast challenge. Hopefully you guys found these videos useful, or at least entertaining. And hopefully the next event will be a little bit more interesting, because this one, I guess, was a little bit fillery for a lot of the longtime players. But I'll see you guys in the next one.
バッチリさ。
こっちだよ。
行くぞ。俺の出番だ。頑張ろうよ。
これですわ。
次の目標は何？俺の出番だ。はい。
こっちだよ。
準備はバッチリさ。はい。全部任せろ。はい。準備はバッチリさ。行くぞ。頑張ろうよ。どこ見てるんだよ。行くぞ。全部任せろ。行くぞ。正確に。準備はバッチリさ。はい。次の目標は何？
こっちだよ。
頑張ろうよ。
こっちだよ。
全部任せろ。はい。
いっくよ。
行くぞ。
こっちだよ。
行くぞ。
いっくよ。
行くぞ。頑張ろうよ。行くぞ。全部任せろ。全部任せろ。行くぞ。次の目標は何？準備はバッチリさ。
いっくよ。いっくよ。
行くぞ。頑張ろうよ。行くぞ。俺の出番だ。行くぞ。全部任せろ。ほら、これでも食らえ。行くぞ。俺の出番だ。準備はバッチリさ。
いっくよ。
行くぞ。
こっちだよ。
頑張ろうよ。次の目標は何？
こっちだよ。
はい。全部任せろ。はい。逃げちゃダメだ。逃げちゃダメだ。逃げちゃダメだ。
いっくよ。
俺の出番だ。
こっちだよ。
行くぞ。